Hey guys, this is Ananth Maruthi from Kapi workshop. So today the topic is storytelling. So today I would like to share how to write stories. At least it's my style of writing. After so many years of working in scripting and story writing, I have built a special set of rules for myself. So today we will be sharing and discussing those. So before we do that, I would like to thank the Switch community for giving me this opportunity. And let us start. So before we discuss the steps of story building, let us start with a small story, right? So this is medieval Spain, and in a village called Ceuta, there is one guy whose name is Belarius. And Belarius is a very inquisitive and curious guy, but most of his inventions and queries were met with a lot of uh, opposition and hate because he's always questioning the norm. And one fine day, there is a situation where the norm is not working. So the rains have stopped, the land is not growing any food, and nearly everyone are going what do you call sorry nearly everyone are starving, right? So in these situations, Belarius somehow got the boon from a god, and he got the food, and he had sold that food, and he made millions and millions of gold. So nearly after 2 centuries, some great grandson of his by the name Justinian had read the old works and found that Belarius had what do you call? Belarius had hidden a lot of treasure somewhere, and everything related to that treasure is just a small letter which says that it is the last letter from Belarius. It says that anyone from his clan can claim the treasure if they are worth it. And he had written 2 sentences. A barren mother carries my child, her bosoms aplenty in the wild. That's it. And then in the postscript, he had written, only the one who knows the true God will inherit my wealth. That's it. So Justinian had cracked his head with this riddle. He had hired many great scholars to crack the code, and they couldn't crack the code, right? So at the end, he was nearly giving up, and somebody told him that a intelligent guy somewhere in West Africa, if you can hire him, he will crack the code for you. So they took a long trip, and they had gone to West Africa and hired a man called Tariq. His full name is Tariq Al Hassan. And they came back to Spain, and they had, sorry, yeah. So Tariq ultimately had cracked the code, and he had taken Justinian and others to a very deep forest, and there they could see twin what do you call twin mountains, and in between those mountains there is a valley which has no vegetation and nearly desert. It's a near no vegetations of any sort, and there they had dug at several places and found some relics that are indicating that this is where Belarius had what do you call buried the treasure. Upon seeing that, they have found some n number of caskets in there, and they had took the caskets, and they came to the town center, and there was a fight between Justinian and a new guy called Roderick. Roderick claims that he's also a descendant of Belarius, and he also claims the treasure. Upon a lot of argument, the court decides that let us open the casket and see what they are actually fighting for. And when they open the casket, they see a lot of balls, dung balls, nothing else, a lot of dung balls. And none of the descendants claimed it. And the only guy who claimed it was Tariq. So Tariq took the balls, he had gone to his country, and after a few years, it is known that Tariq had become a very good businessman and a rich person. And these two guys, Justinian and Roderick, again called upon him and tried to know what's the secret of their grandfather, sorry, great 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 grandfather. And Tariq explained that the first two sentences are just the map guide to the treasure, but the last sentence indicates what the exact treasure is. So again, the riddle is a barren mother carries my child. Basically, he had buried the treasure somewhere in a barren land. That's it. And the second sentence is her blossoms aplenty in the wild. So somewhere in the wild, there are twin mountains. That's the only indication of it. What do you call blossoms in the wild is all about. So that is only the indication where the treasure is buried. Now the last sentence. Only the one who knows the true God will inherit my wealth. So according to Belarius and Tariq, the true God is sun. So what is the direct relation of human and sun? It is just that it is food, right? Without sun, we can't grow any food. So Tariq understood that all these balls, dung balls, might contain something, and he had gone to his country and he had done some research and found out that there is some special type of seeds in these balls that grow without water. So Belarius' story is about giving food to his countrymen when there is drought and no rainfall, right? So basically, he found a way to grow some kind of food crop without using much water. So basically, at the end, it is what do you call? It is found out that the real inheritor of Belarius' treasure is Tariq because both of them have similar mind. Both of them are of the same what do you call? Same farmers kind of a mindset. So the treasure that Belarius had buried had rightfully gone to his in what do you call the one who he had wished the treasure would go to, right? So this is a small story that had made me wonder why would Belarius hide the exact truth about the treasure that he had buried? Why would he give an unnecessary riddle to his what do you call future what is that exact word I forgot, his bloodline? Why not just tell them straightforward that this is the treasure, just make something out of this and get rich? So I guess we should go now to interactive thing. Nikhil. So I want you guys to just ask me questions regarding the if you had understood or hadn't understood the story. Okay. Yeah.
Backstage, everyone, backstage. Oh, miss.
Hello.
Got it.
Hello.
Hello.
How about now? Okay. Uh, okay. Awesome. So, guys, I hope you understood the story. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about why Belarius had made up a ridiculous riddle.
Your voice has gone again. Hello.
How about now? Hello. Yeah. So, anyone can guess why Belarius had made it a tough situation for his people? Yeah. So, what I was asking is, why would Belarius make it a tough situation for his people to find the treasure? Why not give it straightforward? Why the riddles? Why the what do you call so much uh, what do you call smoke and mirrors?
Yeah, because effort and reward, right?
Okay, that is
Maybe
good.
that's why I
And
think. Yes.
so, if it is effort and reward, right? Why not train his kids to understand what is effort and how they will get reward instead of blindly like if nobody had solved the riddle, then the treasure would be lost, right?
Only those worthy of the treasure should be able to get it, or something like that.
Okay, so
That's
the
the best
point.
way to teach them how that works. I don't know.
Okay, so the point to be noted is people who are worthy of his treasure, right? So the first point is Belarius wanted to give the treasure to the person who is actually worthy. So what is the instrument that he had used in order to make sure that only the person who is worthy had will get his treasure? Anyone?
Guys, you can talk in storytelling jam.
Okay, I think nobody got the story.
Everyone is just shy to talk for some reason. I don't know why. People,
Okay. So here the first point is that Belarius only wanted to give the treasure to the person who is worthy of it, and the instrument that he used is the riddle. But in the riddle, he mentioned words and what do you call triggers that only a person who is also into that kind of line of work would understand. For example, a barren mother carries my child, right? In reality, that's not logical. A barren mother cannot carry any child. So only a farmer would understand that a barren mother would be a barren land. It's just a barren land, and the child would be a seed, and her blossoms plenty in the wild. So the only physical or form that is similar to a bosom would be mountains, right? Again, Belarius is triggering the instinct of a farmer. And the last and final sentence, I mean, in the postscript, only the one who knows the true God will inherit my wealth, right? So here with this sentence, the true God in those ages would be either Christ, or since it is Europe and all that, so it would be either Christ or the other religion, Allah would be there. Then there is Jews and all. But how would Belarius know the person who would come would recognize the true God, right? So for a farmer, the true God is always sun, because everything revolves around sun in a farmland. So Tariq understood that the balls that the treasure in the treasure caskets are nothing but seed balls, and everybody knows that in the legend, Belarius found a blessing from the god, that is the seeds which can grow without water, without much water. So Belarius understood that only a farmer would understand the importance of this wealth. So he had made sure that another farmer finds this wealth and uses it. And that is how Tariq had taken this wealth, gone back to his home, and used it to make new crops and all, grow new crops. And again, he had found wealth in a long method, like he sold the crops and all that. Right. So here in this story, what is there? What Belarius had made sure is that not only a worthy person gets the what do you call it, the treasure, but only the person who has a similar mindset as himself would get it. And he made such a plan that it is time proof, future proof. Not even just a century afterwards, but 10 centuries afterwards also, a person with a similar mindset only would understand that, right? So one of the powerful tool that here Belarus had employed is storytelling. He had mixed reality and a bit of fiction to create a buzz. and that buzz kept on. So even after so many generations, the buzz, the legend, is that Belarus God given boon is still around somewhere for someone to claim. And someone had claimed it, and that person is exactly similar to Belarus, right? So I'm wait a second. So let's start with storytelling. So what would you guys understand from this kind of a storytelling? Hello. Guys, I would like it to be interactive. So if you guys have any opinions about this, we can take it further. Okay. 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 So if it's not going to be interactive, then I just should give you the points of story making. I guess just that. So anybody have any doubts regarding character development in a story or a plot development in a story? Maybe that would be interesting for you guys.
Savas is saying yes in storytelling jam set. Apparently, he has never written a story,
Okay.
but he says yes. We can look at storytelling jam. It's a chat dedicated to this event. Like right above live stage, you have a text channel called storytelling jam.
Okay, should I go to chat or something?
No, I think you should scroll up and go to storytelling jam. It's a mini channel. It's a channel right above live stage.
Okay.
There's a text channel
Uh,
there in which Sabas is saying never written a story, but yes.
I'm scrolling up and
Then I just pinged you there.
okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, so let us start with how would you start a story? Like most of the times you wouldn't know the end of the story and you wouldn't know the start of the story, but you will start from somewhere in the middle. It's not like one day you will get up and say that let us write a story about a some baker in some place, maybe in Delhi or something. Let us write a story about a baker in Delhi. No, it won't be like that. So how would a story start? It would start with some random incident that you somehow are obsessed with. Like for example, I was obsessed with a what do you call, a documentary about seed balls, right? Then when I've gone uh, some I have done some research regarding these seed balls. I had found out that these seed balls aren't new. They were used in ancient times also. These were used in ancient Roman cultures and Greek cultures, and even before that. Even early man seemed to use them. Like not the cavemen, but people who actually started farming and all. So out of that, what I have understood is I was obsessing over why seed balls are so important, and then I came across a very interesting fact. When the first African slaves were shipped to what do you call, USA, right? America. So the Africans they couldn't take anything because nothing was allowed, but they kept small seeds of lady's finger, or what do you call the alternate name? I forgot. The small seeds of lady's fingers inside their nostril. Yeah, okra. Inside their nostrils and inside their ears and whatever orifices they could keep. So they had taken those seeds with such care to the new lands, and then my obsession turned into something else. Why would they need these seeds in the new land? They don't know what the land is like, and there are more important things than the food they have in Africa, right? They are taken as slaves. They don't know whether they will survive the journey or not, and they might not even know whether at the new place they can grow this seed or not. But humans, they want to they have a positive outlook even in the worst situation, and they wanted to introduce this okra to the children that they might have in the new land. So from that, I have seen this one documentary about a treasure in Egyptian pyramid, and most of the treasure it only has wheat and honey. That's it. And later I understood that it is some kind of what do you call, super wheat or something, and they are regrowing it in some labs in Egypt. So why would someone keep these treasures, and what is the necessity for that person in the past to pass it on to the new, as I mean the current person, whoever had taken that treasure? So from there I thought of making a story out of it. So I have added some elements like what do you call these, a boon from the god, the riddle, etc., etc., and I made small little story. So from an obsession that is somewhere in between of the story, I had created a start and an end. So when we are writing a story, right, we don't know what the characters are, we won't know what the starting and the endings are. We only know one small trigger, that is our obsession. So if anybody wants to start a story, right, first the thing they should understand is what is the obsession, what is the hook, what is the hook is something different, but obsession, what are you obsessed about? Like what do you want to write about? That is a constant motivator. So the first thing you should identify is, even before writing a character and describing the character, you should identify what the motivator is, what is the story about, what is the situation or the obsession. So that is how you start a story. And slowly the next part would be setting the stage. Like you understood the core of the story, right? So now the core of the story is uh, a person from the past is passing on his treasure to the right person in the future, and that treasure is the seeds. Now the core of the story is this. Now next you have to set the stage. So where would be the correct place for this story to play? So sometimes sometimes the obsession is the place itself, the stage itself, and sometimes it is a small riddle. So you have to understand what is the stage, what is the obsession, and then comes the players, the characters. So for a person who would be passing on his treasure to some unknown person in the future, so what kind of a person that would be? So that is where you have to develop the character of the person who hid the treasure, and from then on you can understand, sorry, you can basically deduce everything. So what kind of a person will make sure, I mean, think of the future, who will think of the future, what kind of a person he would be, what kind of a personality he would have, and lastly, who would receive the treasure in this particular story, and what would be the conclusion of this story. So we should start in the middle and then slowly build up to the extremities, the start and the end. And in while doing this we have to do multiple drafts, and in each draft we can improve the narration, we can improve the story, I mean we can improve the characters, and we can enrich the plot also, we can make it more intricate. We can so after a number of drafts we will finally come to a story, right? So any more questions regarding this, like character development or plot development? Okay. Okay, I I guess without much questions, I'm hoping you understood everything. So anything else? I this is very small topic. Like in detail, we actually have to build. This should be an interactive session where we would be building a story. This is a jam, right? So we have to build a story, and that is how we would be understanding more about story building. So if anyone has any kind of a plot that we can go forward with, otherwise I would assume that you understood everything, or we can conclude this session. Yeah. Okay then. So you can, yeah, you can reach out to me. Yeah. So if you want to understand more about this, you can reach out to me at Kapi Workshop. That's it.
Uh,